whatoplay presents the top 10 Android point-and-click games of all time, all arranged by playscores. The playscore is an average of gamer and critic ratings. Number 10 is Beat Cop. 11-bit Studios already has quite the repertoire with titles like This War of Mine and the more recent Frostpunk. This new point-and-click adventure kind of follows the same formula, but Beat Cop plays with equally difficult themes, revolving around the story of a disgraced cop on his way to redemption. Play as Jack Kelly and experience his living hell as a suspected murderer with an annoying boss and a horrible domestic life. Despite the darkness of its themes, Beat Cop has a nice living world to immerse in. Its environments seem meticulously detailed, from its clean HUD to the streets themselves, lined with moving cars and interesting passerby. With all that, Beat Cop is still a free game, and as such, it doesn't quite close in on the immersion because of its lack of voice acting. But still, Jack Kelly's life is a life worth seeing though, with a score of an 8.14. Number 9 is The Frost Rune. Grimnir's media adventure takes us far away from the brutal reality of Beat Cop. Instead, we're taken to the mysterious world of Viking mythology. Shipwrecked and marooned into an unknown island, you find yourself in an abandoned settlement with only ancient ruins and burial mounds for company. Frost Rune depicts its world in 2D illustrations that capture a quiet isolation, and it's also the burgeoning of something intensely magical. And as a point-and-click adventure, it's a bit slow on the uptake. It might be a little lacking for some, but worth the patient investment for others. It's a unique adventure that shows off its ingenuity with its puzzles, and also its creativity with its Old Norse dialogue that takes us fully to their realized spirit world. It has a play score of an 8.47. Number 8 is Old School Runescape. This might be the most different of all the games in this list, but it also happens to be one of the most well-known names in gaming. RuneScape is a hell of a lot different than it used to be, so developer Jagex provided fans with a much-needed time capsule. Old School RuneScape is exactly the old school MMORPG you once loved, and now you can bring it along with you wherever you go. Face the dragons, sail the seas, and take down the monsters once more. It's a great way for old fans to reconnect with their old 2007 selves, but also a great entry point for anyone who just wants to have fun and an accessible RPG they can play with friends. It's combining point-and-click gameplay with the MMO formula. It has a play score of an 8.52. Number 7 is The Silent Age. Your days as an ordinary janitor are up as you prepare for a different kind of cleanup in this mystery-filled point-and-click adventure. The Silent Age follows the more familiar formula for the genre. Take on the role of a janitor who finds a portal to the future and becomes the only hope for humanity's survival. It's a sci-fi trope that's been made many times before, but it homes in on the genre with an atmosphere built on stylistic visuals and eerie soundtracks. While that's nice and good, what completes the Silent Age experience is still its engaging puzzles and compelling storyline. The game has been out for a while, and there's 2 episodes for you to get lost in, with each one brimming with just the right amount of tension to make you want answers to the many questions it raises. It rightly deserves a play score of an 8.64. At number 6 is Beholder. In our next game, virtue, not beauty, is in the eyes of the beholder. Set within the confines of a totalitarian state, Beholder challenges you to toe the line between compassion and conformity. You own an apartment building and the state requires you to spy on your tenants, bug their homes, search through their belongings, and report any kind of suspicious activity to give violators their due punishment. With such a dark setting, there's a lot of gray moral areas to balance out. Will you bow to the orders of the government, blackmail your tenants in exchange for bailing them out, or simply becoming the light that the dark world needs? As a title that's heavy, dark, and depressing, It might not be everyone's cup of tea, and with a play score of 8.68, the choice is yours. Number 5 is the House of Da Vinci. Out of the darkness of the totalitarian state and into the light of the Renaissance. In House of Da Vinci, it looks like the renowned Renaissance man has disappeared and it's up to you to find him. What makes it all the more different from the last game is that it also sets you free from the restrictive 2D plane. You get to roam around 16th century Florence freely in first-person perspective. So enter the house of your master Da Vinci and learn to think like him to solve all the mechanical puzzles that lie ahead of you. And just like the period, it's also a journey of enlightenment. Its scenes are packed with riddles that feel unique and cleverly designed. While it may have some control quirks, it more than makes up for it, getting a score of an 8.72. At number 4 is Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Maybe they were right when they said out of all the many Five Nights at Freddy's on the mobile, the second main installment has won over all the others by a tiny margin. And with the sequel, the old and dilapidated animatronics are out to haunt you once again. The series is built around players taking up the security guard duties and hopefully living to see the end of their shift. But this time, the 5-night stay has turned into 7. And thankfully for horror fans everywhere, it doesn't always work out and you get to meet some of their beloved characters. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 successfully ramps up the tension. There's a lot more rooms to keep an eye on, and their infamous robot cast members have become a whole lot smarter. It's a successful sequel, but it's just one of the franchise's many great hits, winning over the rest with a play score of an 8.73. Number 3 is Bota Nicola. Sometimes what you're looking for in a point-and-click game is just a little bit of relaxation. Bota Nicola is here to deliver. Other than their art style that evokes familiar images of quaint Sunday mornings, there's a lot more to love here. Starring a hand of tiny tree creatures, Bota Nicola tells the story of 5 friends on a journey to rescue their home tree's last seed from evil parasites. It's an endearing tale, filled with quirky bug personalities that set amid bright foliage that's a total breathtaking sight for sore eyes. So swing from vine to vine, jump on star-like orbs, take shelter in homes, and ask a friend for raid help. Cute and endlessly charming no matter how much you play. Its play score of 8.74 is definitely well deserved. At second place is Gemini Roo. Invite your friends into the harrowing world of crime in this interactive graphic adventure from none other than Wed Games. These folks have always been given us a masterclass in adventure games, so it's no surprise that they presented us with this.
You're from off-world or something?
Yeah, police business. We had to bypass the docking ring.
Gemini Roo comes complete with the film noir atmosphere, immersing you in the dark world of intrigue, mystery, and science fiction. It's a tale of 2 characters, except it's boiled into one. Find out how their stories intertwine into a quest for galactic redemption. It has a play score of an 8.76. And the best Android point-and-click game is none other than Wed Park. Well, you can't say it isn't expected. When you've already made titles like Monkey Island and Maniac Mansion, you're bound to make it to the top, especially if you're on the Android. Continuing on out of LucasArts, Wed Park is one of the latest to come out of Ron Gilbert and Gary Winnick's partnership. Return to 1987 and dive into a neo-noir mystery that gives you more questions than answers. The Maniac Mansion humor lives on as you guide their duo detectives through interviewing witnesses, finding clues, and uncovering the mystery of Wed Park. It might be presented in simple pixel visuals, but the immersion set a record high thanks to its stellar voice acting.
Let's see here. There's no wallet in his pockets. But I found a card. Possibly a key card from a hotel.
It's one of the best point-and-clicks from the veteran point-and-click makers. It gets a play score of an 8.85.